Dude, once they started shooting cannonballs off boats,
That's a problem.
that must have been the game changer.
Huge problem.
When did they start doing that? When they start doing cannonballs from boats? Because that is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You got a cannon on a boat?
Shooting people without cannons?
Boom!
Yeah, you just do this all day.
How
Right
many
here.
times did they have to shoot that cannon before they figured out how hard they have to bolt it into the floor?
A lot. They shot out the other side of the boat.
You got a floating
Yeah.
wooden thing with this giant iron tube on it that has explosions go off on it.
And just 4 poor guys from Manchester operating it. Oh, my God.
Boom!
You ever see Master and Commander with Russell Crowe?
Why they like it?
Master and Commander's good.
Is it?
Yeah. Look at this, dude. That's fun. Guys on boats. Boys on boats, dude. You get to grab the boys when they're sleeping. You go, don't tell anyone about this, mate.
How weird is it they're using a sextant in a cloudy day? How are they doing that? Isn't a sextant based off the stars? Isn't that what it works?
I have no idea.
I don't know what the fuck they did.
Imagine those things those kids are looking through, which this is really wild. Like that was how they would navigate. Imagine the crude tool that they were using
Yeah.
to float around in the fucking ocean,
Oh.
and they would do it somehow or another through the stars. right?
That book, the first thing I ever talked to you about was Cabeza de Vaca.
Yes.
And they were like, the
Yes.
guy they hired to do the navigating, like, fucked up.
yeah.
they had no idea. He had to be like, no, I know where we're going.
How accurate are those sextants?
I think if you're off, especially going from Spain, if you're off like a little, you're fucked.
It looks like we have an updated version now.
Does it have like computers
thing,
on it
yeah.
and shit? Same
Better
thing.
scope, maybe.
It looks dope. That looks way better. So how does it work?
There's a description.
The estimation of a sextant is a doubly reflecting navigation instrument that measures the angular distance between two visible objects. The primary use of a sextant is to measure the angle between an astronomical object and the horizon for the purpose of celestial navigation. So the estimation of this angle, the altitude, is known as sighting or shooting the object or taking a sight. The angle and the time when it was measured can be used to calculate a position line on a nautical or aeronautical chart. For example, sighting the sun at noon or Polaris at night in the northern hemisphere. To estimate latitude with sight reduction, sighting the height of the blah 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 blah. I'm gonna keep.
I don't understand any of it.
It seems like they're using dots in the sky. So like one of them would be the sun, one of them would be the moon.
Yeah.
And because they're calculating the angles of how far the things are away from each other and where the stars are, you can kind of figure out where you are in the ocean somehow. I'm not sure I understand it, but now they just use GPS, which is way better.
Yeah.
Imagine back then when they just didn't know where they were and they thought they were in India. You know?
It's a
okay.
moving GIF. I can't control it, but it's showing how it works.
You read the angle.
I'm not going to figure this out
I
right
know,
now.
Yeah, we're too dumb for this. We're too dumb. But it's amazing that they use those to travel all around the world. Like they trusted those things, and the way you would
if you
figure
were
it
off,
out
you're
through
dead.
that. Yeah, not good. And
You're dead.
you might have scurvy anyways.
Yeah.
What do you eat? Beef jerky
They
every
hit-
day?
Yeah. You hit no wind. You're just on flat sea.
They're all sick. They would get sick.
Yeah, there's mutinies constantly.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this guy's going to
yeah.
fucking get us killed.
And then storms were completely unpredictable. You had no idea when a storm was coming. Zero
That
idea.
Cabeza de Vaca story, I kind of forget it, but
It's amazing.
so I think they were in Cuba, Hispaniola, and they left, and they landed in like Tampa, and they were like, half of the party go get on a sailboat or meet us at the harbor. There's a harbor up this coastline, and they're like, all right, half the party's gonna walk, half the party's gonna take the boat, and there was no harbor, and they had to walk from Tampa to Mexico City. 3 of them made it. They all got killed. Yeah, pretty fun.
They had to survive waves like this back then too. Yes,
Yep,
right.
100%.
But they
What the
could
fuck?
not.
But they didn't. They went under. I mean, that's why those boats sank. There's so many of those pirate ships. And how about the Roman ships they find that sank with like a fucking $1 billion worth of gold in them?
Spanish
Oh my
coming
God.
back. Spanish coming back from the New World.
There's probably a bunch of those
Yeah.
out there. Those
Yeah.
guys that find like hidden treasure or sunken
pretty
treasure,
cool.
that's a wild thing, man. Can you imagine if you're a guy who's invested all this money, you got all this stress, you got a team of divers. It's basically like a CBS
Yeah.
drama show. You got a team of divers, and they finally find it. And now you got to protect it from
They
pirates.
got to kill those guys that were on the dive with you.
Oh, I bet that
We
happens
just
a
found
lot.
$1 trillion.
I bet that happens a lot, right? I bet guys kill each other.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's a story I know. I think I told you about it one time before. This guy, he's known as he did exactly what you're talking about. He found the gold. He got an investment. His name's Tommy Thompson. I think there's a documentary about him. He
from Britain?
then
He's English?
lost the gold. in quotes. Lost it. Didn't know where he
Damn.
put it. He's
Look
been
at
in
that
jail.
pirate, dude.
Held under contempt because he owes the people who invested in him the money. He's just like, I don't know where it is. I can't remember where I put it. And so the judge is just holding him.
How long
So
can he hold him?
He's been in jail for like 20 years, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
For $4 million?
It's at least $4 million, I think, is the problem. Like, he might have found a lot, and he just didn't tell everybody he found.
And so he's been in jail for how long?
Let me see if I can.
Yeah,
fully
let's
tell
find
you,
out.
but I believe it's a long. It's more than 10 years. I think it's been going on for a while.
Well, he looks so much older than he did when he got arrested.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, see, it started back in like the 90s.
Oh my God.
He discovered it in like 89 and then went back. People have been talking about it for a while, but I think he's, as far as I know, still being held.
What a fucking idiot.
Well, not only that, where's the gold, and how does he know it's going to be there when he gets